All right, guys, I am here with two iconic Destination X contestants, Biggy and Shayne, and you're watching Hollywood Junket. So I want to start off with the first question, and whoever wants to answer can go ahead and just chime in. Um, After rewatching the episodes, what are your guys' reactions to some of the other players' kind of comments, just about each other?
You go ahead and take it, Biggie.
Yeah, I'll go. It is interesting to see. I always wondered in the moment, like what people were saying in the confessionals. So it's good to see, what exactly was going on kind of behind the scenes because you're just trapped like with each other 100% of the time. And that's like the only alone time that you get. So it is interesting to see that. But overall, I think it's portrayed pretty well. I think just kind of takes me back, to be honest with you, because like it was just such a fun time, and to be able to kind of relive it is just it's awesome, and I'm enjoying it. And like that's the best part about it is, I don't see any of the episodes, anything that's coming out until it happens live. So being able to watch it live and kind of see everything play out, it's awesome. I'm loving it.
Yeah, and for me personally, showing the if my inclinations were right or not is really where I'm sitting. Like I knew it, dang, it," or I was wrong about that. So really getting to see those things play out in real time, and it makes me laugh.
I love that. A little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of intuition there. Love that. And then Shayne, we have to ask about the showmance a little bit. Are you and Allie
Yeah.
still together? What was it like doing a
You're gonna have to
showmance?
watch and find out, because
Man,
yeah,
dang it.
you trying to get me sued over here.
Okay, I got you. I got you. We will watch. Everybody tune into that, and we'll find out. Speaking of that, going off of that a little bit, what was your, and Biggie, you can tell us your reaction to this too. You broke Allie's vase first, and I know a lot of people are wondering about that. Can you tell us the reasoning behind that? And Biggie, your reaction to that?
Yeah, so my thoughts behind it were, I originally made my alliance with Biggie. I wasn't going to, start to really shift my personal game by throwing him under the bus instead of Ali, which, come to find out, I kind of did throw him under the bus just because of the outcome of it, and him having to now figure out how the lie happen, it has to happen and all of this. But obviously we didn't know that in the moment. But Ali understood. She had told me she would look at me less of a man if I was just following her and, now jumping ship in a sense. So, at the end of the day, I knew that the alliance was left. So it really didn't matter whose vase I smashed. We were all going to get the answer. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it was just all smiles. I feel like if you got to see the whole thing, we're all just looking at each other like, did this really just happen? Like, this is perfect.
And Biggie, your reaction when you saw that?
Yeah, I mean, there was, to be honest with you, I really I, I figured Shane was going to smash Allie's face. I did, but to see it actually happen was cool. But also, like, that makes sense for his game because, like, because me and him made that alliance, day one, it was like, we're going to rock together till the end, no matter what, and had he switched up on that in the moment, it's like, with someone who he had been kind of aligned with, I guess, for just, a couple days at that point, or maybe like a week at that point, it was like, well, damn, like, is the trust really there? So it was a great move on his part. And, that was the first challenge I won. So I was struggling. I was on the struggle bus. I mean, I was 0 for 6 on the first 6 challenges. So finally getting a dub was spectacular. Now, I didn't know the shit that was going to come along with it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We didn't persevere. We got through it. But yeah, that was definitely in the moment. That was kind of oh God, he just did that. That was good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Win is a
Yeah.
win too, right, Biggie? Um, what are your thoughts, Biggie, on the tiebreaker? And did you think that it should have been handled like a different way? Like, for instance, instead of, whoever guessed like the most off of the year should have been sent home, or what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, everything else we've done, I mean, especially in the map room, it's whoever's furthest away. you know.
Mhm.
So I did assume that that's how it was going to be. And then, you know, whenever I thought that there may have been a tie because the map room was taking a long time that night. I'm just hanging out on the bus, and the map room was taking a long time, and I was like, oh God, something's happening. And I get on the bus, I sit down, and here comes Mac, and she just had a look on her face, and her face was red, and I was like, oh God, what just happened? I was like, what have I done? And then, you know, obviously that happened. But yeah, you know, I mean, everything else has been, you know, who's the furthest away. I mean,
Mhm.
that's how it's been. And, you know, logically, you know, you would think that's how it went, but you know, as far as TV goes, it definitely made for better TV when Peter, you know, had the decision, you know. So yeah, it ended up, you know, being great TV. Sucks what happened, you know, but it's part of the game, I guess.
Yeah, and in Jeffrey's game, guys, anything could happen. I think that's what we're finding out. Speaking of that, randomly, sometimes you guys will get paired in challenges with people who aren't your alliances. It's kind of like a weird contradiction in the game, basically. And Biggie, we saw how you helped Rick with the map room. Did you guys know that Rick was kind of playing both sides, or what were your thoughts on Rick?
So here's the problem. Okay, here's the problem. Um, Me and Rick, okay, what has not been shown, unfortunately, me and Rick spoke hours on hours on hours every day. Like I was extremely close with Rick. I started talking to Rick um after Josh in episode 1 said, you know, nobody trusts Rick. I just look, I'm a compassionate guy. You know, I got emotions, and I was like, dude, you know what, man, I feel bad for this guy. So I was like pretty close with Rick, to be honest with you. And like over the course of the bus, I would say like we probably spoke 200 plus hours. So that was like I would talk to Rick all the time. So you know, obviously, like with editing and that kind of stuff, you know, they got to condense things down, and I get that. But yeah, that was kind of common with me because, you know, I mean, I had a good friendship with Rick, you know, throughout the show. So yeah, that was just kind of that was kind of common.
That makes sense. And Shane, did you know Rick
Yes.
was kind of
Whole time.
he said,
Whole time. I'm warning people. I'm like, yo, he's talking to Peter way too long. Way too long. I don't trust it. We can't let this man in. But you know, it's when, you know, I don't want to say that I was a not a lackey, but like a somewhat of a minion for Biggie, but I made myself available in that way, and just because how much of an asset he was to me.
Mhm.
So I was just along for the ride and was like, man, I hope this don't get us. Like I really hope it don't get us.
Wow. Now, oh my gosh. Now you both, Shane, Biggie had very different experiences in the haunted castle. Can
Mm.
you tell us a little bit more about that? Like, what was it like?
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Shane. I mean, you had a hell of a night, so I'll let you go
I know.
first.
Yeah. Well, for me, I thought that was going to be my resting place for the night. And then we got that letter and everything changed. I mean, you can see the smile on my face. You know, yes, you know, 90% of it was because I get to spend the night with Allie, but that 10%, boy, was getting away from any ghosts, anything creepy. Like, you know, like, if I can't physically touch something,
Mhm.
I got problems. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a ghost or something, that is my number one fear. Number one. Like no spiders. I'm pretty good with those. Those were number two, and I'm starting to, you know, wean off of that. But reptiles, monkeys, animal, anything I can do. Ghosts, nah, 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 nah. And I would have tweaked if I was down there and that yelling started. Oh, y'all would have heard me screaming.
I loved your reaction when you found out you were going to be up there with Allie. Oh my God, that was amazing.
Quick,
Quick.
quick.
You're like, see you
Yeah.
guys, bye. Out you go. And
No,
Biggie, what
yeah.
was your night like?
That was like, look, I mean, I on the show I said I've slept in like a lot of questionable places, you know, closets, couches, a lot worse than that, to be honest with you. That was by far the worst night of sleep I've ever had in my life.
Oh
And
my.
I actually had a buddy ask me, he was like, because on the show it says, you know, like 2:15 a.m. or something like that on the bottom of the screen. It was probably 2:15 a.m. And I think our wake up the next morning was 6 a.m. maybe. I slept for maybe 15 minutes. That was awful. And especially like in a game where you need your brain, to be able to think. That was like worst case scenario because my brain the next day was not working, especially in the yodeling challenge because which I mean, I don't have an ear for music anyway. I can't sing for shit, but yeah, that night was atrocious. And then they scared the hell out of us. Somebody hit a window, and the reason the camera is so shaky on all of us when that happens is because it scared the cameraman. He was like shaking. So, it was God, that was terrible. Terrible.
That it was atrocious. I'm so weak. Now, I have a couple more questions for you guys, but this is how I kind of would have played the game. I would have downplayed my smarts in the beginning so I could get people to kind of think I'm not, I'm just kind of an airhead. Did any of you at any point in time during the game kind of downplay your smarts, just to get ahead?
I
So
wish. Oh,
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Mine'll be short. I wish I was. All right. Somebody, literally, that was something that we brought up later. They were like, I think it was Mac who said it. She was like, "You actually came in good, but if you were smart, like, and you hit it until you really needed it, then that would have been amazing." But I was like, "Yeah, I wish I did."
With me, it was so when we first got off of the plane
Mhm.
onto the tarmac and we had the first, the luggage challenge, I kind of thought in my mind, I was like, do I play this dumb? But the thing about it is, since it's not a voting based system to vote people out, I just thought in my mind, I was like, well, if I make myself look smart, I feel like that's going to help me in, alliance building as far as like maybe people will come to me like, with information to try to help them out, so trying to be looked at as like, I don't know, just somebody who knows what's going on. And then I could look like an asset to other people. So had it been, a different game to where there's a voting system to where you vote people out, absolutely. I would have played like an idiot.
Mhm.
I mean, I've already got the accent for it. That'd have been a no-brainer. But in this kind of game, I figured if I looked smart, that would help me. And I think so far it has.
Yeah. And so at the end of the episode, the bus is literally floating on water. And Jeffrey kind of, he knocks and then the windows open, we see in the episode. Can you guys give us like a sneak peek, whatever you can legally, of what's coming up next or any hints or anything like that?
I'll do this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Does this work?
no, Shade. I
This,
understand. I understand.
this
Okay.
next episode,
Mhm.
and I'm not just saying this. This will be up to this point in the season the best episode so far. It is a certified banger, absolute banger. It's going to be so good. There's some daggers, That's all I'll say. It's going to be good.
Well, I
Mhm.
can't wait, and I know the viewers can't wait. Shane, I love your background. Yeah, you're on a modeling
Oh,
gig job
yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah, I love
lunchtime. I
that.
was able to sneak this in.
Thank
So,
you. We really
yeah,
appreciate it. So, guys,
no, for sure.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let us know where we can follow you on IG. I know Biggie, you do a lot of skits, and I know Shane, you have some cool partnerships with Deer Foam too. I saw on
Oh,
there. So,
yeah.
shout your guys' handles out.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm Biggy.cookthebook on IG, TikTok, Biggie Cook the Book.
And I am Shane Curitan _
Yeah.
on Instagram, TikTok. I think it's just Shane Curitan. Yeah, those are really my two.
Awesome. Well, Shane, Biggie, we cannot wait to see the next episode. I'm kind of shaking. Gonna get some popcorn, got my alkaline water, and we're good to
Yeah,
go.
You're gonna need it for this one.
nice.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And you guys have a blessed day and weekend. Best of luck in the game.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
You too. Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.